Texas basketball continues to be a tale of two teams, and we talk about what's left for them to do to make it into the NCAA tournament. Then we welcome on host of Bazar Sports Radio, Will Bazarsky, where we talk Texas baseball, talk some more Texas basketball. We go down and talk about all the drama going on in LA with LeBron, get a little bit of Bachelor talk in, and break out a new segment. And as always, we finish off the episode with a fun fact of the week. It's a really fun fact this week, so stick around. This is the Thomas Fitch Show. Welcome in to the Thomas Fitch Show, presented by 1&0 Sports. I'm your host, Thomas Fitch. Make sure if you're watching this, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or if you found some other way of watching this, make sure you're liking, commenting, subscribing, all those good millennial things, and drop a couple comments in there if you want to get shouted out on the next show. So we're going to get started with Texas basketball. 3 games have happened since last week's show, and just going to go through and break down each game individually. We'll talk a little more basketball later with Will Bazarsky, but first game last Wednesday night, Texas takes on the Baylor Bears, and they lost. And I'm going to put a hand up. This one's on me. Texas had a 19-point lead in the second half. And I definitely said, wow, Texas has beat Baylor the last 2 times they've played them on Wednesday night. I said it. It's my fault. Shaka, I'd like to apologize. To all the guys on the team, I'd like to apologize. My bad. But let's talk about what actually happened in this game. Texas actually shoots pretty well. You look at 50% from the field, 55% from the three-point line, much better than what they normally do. But what really killed them in this game is when you watch the second half, they just took their foot off the gas pedal. And they stopped doing what had worked for them the whole season, which let Baylor get back into the game. And it always kills me to see, and this happens to so many teams. It's not just a Texas thing. This happens to so many teams when they're up big, and instead of keeping the foot on the gas pedal, they take it off. They try to slow things down. They try to do things differently. Basically, they just abandoned the game plan that worked for them. And Texas does that here. Baylor comes back, ties it up. We go to overtime. And in overtime, there were a couple questionable calls. And again, I don't like to say that determined the outcome because, again, you had a 19-point lead, you blew it. The game should not have gone to overtime in the first place. But I think there was like 6 seconds left. Texas up by 1. And they get the ball inbounded to Jackson Hayes in Baylor, on the Baylor half. And the guy goes for a take foul, kind of hits it, wraps him up. They don't call anything. He starts pivoting. They call it travel. Baylor inbounds it. A guy, drives in and questionable call on if he was fouled. He goes to the line, makes 2 free throws. Baylor wins. Both questionable calls, but regardless, Texas should have won that game. Moving on to Iowa State. A absolute must-win game, and thank goodness they did win. Probably one of, you look at their best games of the year. North Carolina's in there. Kansas is in there. West Virginia on the road and Kansas State on the road have been their best games, but 86-69. And what happened here is, unlike the Baylor game, they took a lead and they kept their foot on the gas. It was, I think, after about 5 minutes left in the first half, they took the lead and never lost the lead the rest of the game. The second half was, you look at the graph, it was pretty much the same thing, leading by about 20-ish points the whole game. Really good shooting performance from the team. 54% from the field, 60% from the three-point line. And, that's the thing is they live and die by the three ball. They live and die by shooting. Baylor, they shoot pretty well. Foot off the gas, they lose in overtime. Iowa State shoot really well, and they win big. Now let's move on to Texas Tech. Let's look at the Horn stats. From the field, 29.6%. From 3, 22%. And guess what? They lose big, 70-51. And, that's what I mean when I say this team is a tale of two teams. Because they're what's going to happen when the team takes the court. If they come out and they're hitting shots, there's a chance they're going to win that game. If they come out and they're cold, there's no way they're going to win that game. And that inconsistency is what worries me for the tournament. And coming into this game, everybody was saying Texas is pretty solidified in the tournament. They either have to, 2 games left, either beat Tech, beat TCU. Gets you another, Tech would be another quadrant 1, TCU kind of quadrant 1, quadrant 2, but a good win. And they still have the option to do that. They play TCU on Saturday at home. It's a must win. But I think the thing that hurts about the Tech game is you look at the team before this game, none of the losses had been a blowout. I mean, Michigan State was 10. Radford and VCU were close. Providence was 6. Oklahoma State was 3. Tech was 6. Kansas was 2. TCU was 4. Georgia's the second biggest loss of the year by 10. And then you lose by 19. And one of my biggest arguments for Texas making the tournament was, regardless of if they'll win a game or not, they'll keep it close. And then they go and play Tech, and they aren't able to keep it close because they shoot 22%. Shaka has to find a way to make this team more consistent if they want to be able to make a run. Because this is a team, like we've said, they beat North Carolina. They beat a good Purdue team. They beat Kansas. They beat Kansas State. They beat Iowa State. They have some good wins. When they play well, they can compete with anybody in the country. The problem is they can't do that every game. And I get, they're college guys. You're never going to get guys that are going to be completely consistent. But going from shooting 60% one night to literally 2 days later shooting 20%, that's not good. And again, where are these 2 losses? 2 of the 3 games were losses, and they were both the road games. Texas can't win consistently on the road. And believe it or not, while it's not a true road game in the tournament, you're definitely not playing at home. And so that's another thing I'm sure the committee will look at. I want to talk briefly about Jace Febres before we get to our interview with Will. But Febres, played probably the best 2 games of his career against Baylor. Iowa State was the Big 12 Player of the Week. He scores 23 against Baylor, 26 against Iowa State, 15 of 24 from the three-point line in those 2 games. Then against Texas Tech goes 1 of 10 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3, only has 4 points. I mean, really a true representation for how this team plays. Inconsistent. And something's going to have to give. Now, regardless, if Texas beats TCU next weekend, I think they're just about in the tournament. Because you look at the rest of the teams on the bubble, no one really stands out. No one has the quality of wins that Texas has. And because of that, I think they're pretty safe in. If they can't beat TCU, then you're starting to look at, okay, what do they need to do? Whether it's, I think it's probably win 2 games in the Big 12 tournament. Because at that point, they have 15 losses. 15 losses is pretty hard to get in the tournament. 14 losses, you're still on the edge, still have some good wins. But the TCU game will be big. I'm going to say it's a must-win. All right, let's get to our interview with Will. We'll talk more Texas basketball over there. Also talk Texas baseball, LeBron, Bachelor talk. It's a great interview, so check it out. All right, we now welcome on guest, fellow 1-0 Sports member, Will Bazarsky.
Wow, I'm glad I'm a member now.
You do Bazar Sports Radio. You're a professional.
I don't know about professional, but I'll take it.
Semi-pro. I'll say we're both semi-pro. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. Let's start with baseball.
All right, so one of my biggest takes on baseball, I actually talked about it on Monday.
Yeah.
Texas is known for their defense.
Right.
This year, not so much.
No.
24 errors to their opponent's 17.
Yeah.
They're racking up the errors. Also something that you've seen throughout the season, a guy who you thought was going to be one of the leading hitters on the team, Mason Hibbler, has dropped off.
Oh, yeah.
But recently, he's turned it around. He played pretty well in the LSU series, went 4 for 11.
Yep.
So he's really starting to turn it around. And coming into Big 12 play, you have Stanford this week. Then you come back, you got Arkansas at home. You have a tough week. You have A&M in the coming weeks. You have Texas Tech, TCU. It's going to be a tough month of March, and you're going to need guys, your bottom of the order, like Mason Hibbler. You're going to need guys at the top of the order, like Duke Ellis, to start it off. He had a 10-pitch at-bat last night. Saw 84 pitches over the weekend. That's a guy you need to see a lot of pitches. If he sees a lot of pitches, the guys throughout the order are going to know what's going to be thrown at them, and that's really going to help them throughout the ball game. Now, it all comes down to defense, like I said, and they need to play better defense.
Yeah, and let's talk about the LSU series because, going into last weekend, coming off winning 3 of 4 against Purdue, looking pretty good. But I was saying you're going up against, depending on what rankings you look at, number 1, number 2, regardless, a really good team. I was thinking you win one of these 2 games, I'd be pretty happy.
I would actually agree with that. 1 of 2 was pretty, they're the number 1 team in the nation. And especially after the loss to UTSA at home, where your pitching failed, your defense almost basically failed. You couldn't really hit. I mean, you could for 1 inning.
Yeah.
1 inning you showed you had some potential to hit. But that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So going into the LSU series, especially after that first inning, I wasn't so sure that we were going to win even one of those games. They turned it around, went 8-1, 8-4. Sunday's game, I didn't think we had the pitching to go that deep.
No way.
I mean, we made 3 errors, so we obviously didn't have the defense to go that deep. But it all came down to who played better baseball at the end of the game, and that was Texas. They hit in that 9th inning. And if we can do that throughout the rest of the season, especially come Big 12 play time, they're going to be successful because LSU isn't unlike any of the top Big 12 teams, Baylor, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, TCU. Those are all teams that could compete with LSU, and it's going to be the same mindset going into it. Now, having these Tuesday games and Tuesday, Wednesday games like UT Rio Grande Valley, UTSA, playing Rice, those midweek games are, I don't want to say more important than the weekend series, especially like Big 12 play, but I want to say they're pretty close to being up there because come Big 12 tournament time, NCAA tournament time, these guys who are pitching on Tuesday, Wednesday, some of the guys in the order on Tuesday and Wednesday are going to have to play. And you lose your first game in the NCAA regional. Well, you need pitchers that pitch on Tuesdays.
You do.
And these guys don't throw on the weekends, and you're going to need these guys to be successful and comfortable and ready to go.
Yeah. What would you say, obviously early in the season, but what does the sweep say about Texas and about this baseball team, especially the comeback?
I think the comeback says a lot about this team. You made 3 errors in the game. You're down, what was it, 3 runs?
6-3 go in the 8th, get 1 run in the 8th, 6-4 in the 9th.
Okay, so you're down 6-4, so you need 3 runs to win the game. You got 3 outs to score. You know you have the series locked up, so it's not like you're playing for anything. I mean, sure, you're playing for a sweep, but you know that if you lose this game,
you still played. You still exceeded expectations.
So that's what we need to see more often, especially in these best of 3, like super regional games, where you win that first game and you're not looking, oh, okay, we have 2 games to win 1 more. We can win it now. Let's win it now, and that's what they did. How
much stake do you think that Texas fans and we as Texas fans can really read in? Because it's a big win, but again, the rankings are a little subjective, saying that it's second week of the season.
I don't know if you're going to read much into it now, especially with 24 errors on the season. They got to clean that up. You have young guys starting. You have Bryce Regan at shortstop. You have all the presidents in the outfield, basically. So it's all going to really come down to, can the seniors and juniors lead those freshmen to limit those errors? Even the juniors and seniors, do they have to limit the errors? They limit the errors, I think the freshmen will become more comfortable playing in these situations and games. And if we end the season with less errors than our opponents, we're going to be successful. But if we don't, I don't know if we're a top 10 team.
We've seen, I think there have been some good defensive plays. I mean, obviously losing David Hamilton to start the season, you knew that was going to hurt you defensively, and having to have young guys step up for him. But I feel like even regardless the way that Regan's played, the way that Kennedy's played, as well as the way that your experienced guys, I mean, Ryan Reynolds has had some insane, athletic defensive plays. But if they can get to the point where they can limit those those errors, they're going to be a really good team because they have the bats, they have the pitching. They can just clean up defensively a little bit. They're going to be one of the most dangerous teams in the country.
Oh, 100%.
Let's talk about. I don't know why the Twitter broadcast just ended, but let's talk about some early stars of this team. Just 2 series in, who would you say, maybe one pitcher, one offensive player, who were kind of standing out as the offensive stars or offensive and defensive stars of this team?
Well, Cole Quintanilla.
Yeah.
He's locking it down this season. 0.71 ERA. He's been in seven games so far, 12.2 innings pitched, 5 hits, only 1 earned run, 1 walk to 18 strikeouts. He's a redshirt freshman.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have him for this year and 1 more year after that, probably. And if he can put up these numbers, especially a guy who comes in late and can lock it down, we're looking at some good numbers. Also a guy to look at, Tristan Stevens, 2.45 ERA. Not as low as Quintanilla,
right?
But he is a guy who's coming off Tommy John surgery, redshirt sophomore, JUCO transfer, and he's a guy, if he can continue to bear down and throw it and get those strikes, he could be a midweek guy, a midweek important guy, and even a guy on the weekend to come in on Sundays and shut it down.
Yeah. What about offense? Who've been some of the guys that have really stood out to you?
Well, again, Austin Todd, of
course.
course.
Got to be Austin Todd.
380 average. I mean, he has 2 homers on the year, triple, 3 doubles.
Walk off on Sunday.
I mean, it says it all right there. Also, a category of this Texas baseball team that defines it only really compared to any other team in the country is their base stealing.
Yep.
And they steal a lot of bases.
Yep.
If they can continue to do that, they're 23 of 26. Great numbers so far.
Yep.
Holding their opponents to 13 of 20 on base pass. So it's really going to come down to that. They can move base runners around. Not so many double plays grinding into. It's going to be a really great ball team. Yeah.
All right. Let's move from one Texas ball team to another. One that may be struggling a little bit more, Texas basketball. We talked about this a little bit earlier in the show, but I want to hear your take on this team right now.
So
I know you have some takes.
So I actually have a theory right now.
Yeah.
And the problem with Texas basketball is we recruit like Duke, UNC, Kentucky, Kansas, all these blue blood teams.
Right.
And then can't find the guys to come back the following year.
Yeah.
These guys are going one and done. Miles Turner.
Yep.
Jared Allen.
Yep. Mo Bamba.
Probably Jackson
Hayes. Yeah.
But you're replacing it with guys who aren't getting quality minutes.
Yeah.
Jackson Hayes really hasn't played as much as you would think. I don't understand. If you're trying to you're recruiting one and done big man. If you're going to do that, you need to recruit one and done guards every single year.
Yeah.
Because if these guys aren't getting the ball in the center, I mean, you have Jace Fevers who is shooting every single shot he gets.
Yep.
He's a great shooter when he's alive.
When he's on.
When he's on, he's a great shooter. When he's off,
like last night where he goes 2 nights ago where he goes 1 for 10.
Right. That's not. If you're going 1 for 5, you should probably think, okay, maybe it's time for me to stop.
1 for 10 though.
But that's all he does.
Yeah.
And
that's
the
all he has.
only guy who has a potential, I want to say, to go in the top 10 right now is Jackson Hayes.
Right.
And that's how we're recruiting. The reason why teams like Texas Tech, VCU with Shaka Smart were so successful is they had guys stay for 3-4 years and develop a program. Same thing with Villanova. That's why they were so good for the last 4 or 5 years, and they're still good this year.
They develop
their talent. We don't. The same guys who are starting as freshmen and are making no progress are the guys who are starting now.
Yep.
There is no change from when they stepped on campus to now. I don't see a guy who is going to become a star. Fevers, sure, if he continues to shoot 3-pointers and make them, maybe. But there is no guy who stands out. You're losing Dylan. You're losing Dio next year. Probably Jackson Hayes.
Yeah.
Matt Coleman's going to be a junior.
Colonel Roach.
Right. You're losing guys. And I don't even talk about Kerwin Roach. That's a 3rd violation on team rules.
Yeah. We'll be back for the Big 12 tournament, but won't be playing against TCU.
Yeah, I don't need to talk about that. But you're missing guys who are you're not even recruiting guys who are going to stay 4 years and are going to develop, it seems like. Next year, you're getting 2 centers and a shooting guard.
Yep.
Why? Develop the guys now, and maybe you'll get them, but you're just recruiting guys to go one and done.
Yep.
And these, like, Kamaka Hipa, he played pretty well against Baylor.
He did.
But you're bringing guys like Will Baker. I got to look at the other guy.
Yeah, Baker's 2020.
Kai Jones, who's
Kai
also
Jones,
center.
he's a decent chance he may go one and done.
Exactly. So what's the point of having these guys if you're not going to play them?
Mm-hmm.
You're recruiting some of these guys who are studs coming out of high school.
Yep.
And then you're just not even developing them as they stay as they stay in the program. So the whole idea of Texas basketball right now is mimicking a Kansas, Duke, Kentucky, but it's failing.
It is failing.
It is failing.
Yeah, and it's to be fair though, when Shaka recruited Jackson Hayes, I don't think he necessarily knew that he was going to turn into quite the prospect that he has. Yeah, I mean Jackson Hayes, his development from junior year of high school to now, not a lot of people saw it coming. But still, it does feel like, obviously Turner, Allen, Bamba, all those guys were 5 stars who you knew were going straight to the NBA. And the other thing, and I've said this before, is it's hard to win in college basketball without a good guard. And who was the last good guard that Shaka recruited? And maybe Matt Coleman didn't pan out quite the way that he wanted, but still, he hasn't gone after a guard in a couple seasons. You got to have someone to lead the team, and Texas hasn't had that. A big man helps, but teams don't win in the tournament because they have a good big man. They win because they have a good point guard.
And we really don't even have a point guard.
Nope.
We don't have Kerwin Roach, who is supposedly a leader on this team.
Yeah.
We don't have Andrew Jones, who's still out.
Yep.
He could be back next year. That could be a huge asset.
It would.
Matt Coleman, he's shown some potential, but really hasn't
improved as much as he improved a lot freshman year and just kind of has really leveled off.
Stayed the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
Courtney Ramey is a guy who could maybe develop into that point guard
if he can keep improving. But if he continues the way that it seems like everybody else does, where they show a little spark freshman year and then nothing else,
right?
What's going to happen?
It seems like there's no coaching being done at Texas.
No.
The fact that you go into Texas Tech, I'm not discrediting Texas Tech because they are
truly
a top 10 team.
Yeah.
But you can't go in and lose like that.
No.
Nothing changed throughout the course of the game.
Nope.
Want to know how I know that? When you see, like you said, Febvre shot, what was it, 1 of 10?
1 of 10 from the field, 0 of 5 from the three-point line.
Why is he still on the court?
Yeah.
Why are you not trying to feed your big men?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. If it's not working, it's not working.
Yeah.
Matt Coleman had 16 points.
Yeah.
Jericho Sims had 4.
Yep.
Hayes had 6.
Yep. It feels like there's no in-game adjustments.
0.
You see every other team, and that's why good teams are able to be down 15 and then flip up defensive, go from a zone to man, or flip what they're doing on offense. That doesn't happen with Texas. It feels like Shaka goes into a game and says, "Hey, y'all go have fun."
Do you know why we lost the way we did?
Why?
Because the same strategy we played against Baylor,
yep,
the same strategy we played against Iowa State,
yep,
was the same strategy we played against Texas Tech.
Yep.
And you can't do that.
No.
Because Febvre is not going to be hot every single game.
No.
And you put a guy on him, he can't shoot. He'll shoot, but he can't shoot. He will shoot no matter what.
Yeah.
But he can't shoot.
And half the threes in the game that he took were like super contested because again, Tech knows we can't do anything if we can't get the ball in the paint. We're screwed. So what do? They stack the paint and they make us force threes. We force threes and they don't fall, we lose. Texas makes threes against Iowa State, makes threes against Baylor, beats Iowa State, almost beats Baylor, but they're reliant on the three ball.
But it's not even that. You have guys like Dio had 13 points against Iowa State. Sure, Hayes only had 4. Ramey had 18.
Yeah.
Febvre had 26. Mitri Long had 13. You're spreading the ball out.
Yeah.
When Coleman basically had every single point and everyone else had 2, that doesn't do anything. You're not spreading the ball out. Because Febres is going to shoot the 3 ball.
Yep.
And when he's not making it, no one else is getting a shot who could potentially get one.
Right.
I'd rather Hayes have 15 points or 16 points of all 2s.
Yeah.
Than Febres having 15 points of all 3s, knowing that he probably shot 10 other 3s and missed them.
Right. Yeah.
Quality shots, and we're not taking that.
Yep. Yeah, something needs to change. All right, speaking of something needed to change, let's talk about the Lakers and LeBron and what's going on there. You know, we were talking about it the other day and about, like, how there's so many, like, clips. Ever since that one clip of LeBron just not doing anything on defense, it feels like every day there's more. I mean, there's Kuzma having to push him to guard a guy, in the fourth quarter. There's LeBron pregame bouncing a ball over the pregame analyst and knocking down one of their lights. It just doesn't look like he cares anymore.
I don't know why he bounced the ball over the light.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand the defensive thing either, but what was the point of that? You just ruined equipment that cost thousands of dollars for no reason.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like you're friends with these guys and you intentionally tried to hit them.
Right.
That would have been funny. That would have been like a joke, whatever. But you're intentionally throwing it up and trying to either bounce it over them, which is a terrible bounce to begin with.
Right.
Or you're trying to ruin their equipment, which makes zero sense because they're covering your game.
Yeah. No, LeBron is tarnishing his legacy. And he had done so, when he went to Miami, he was the bad guy destroying the NBA. Then he goes back to Cleveland.
He's a good guy.
Here's this good guy. He has this school where he's, giving all these scholarships, giving people, the ability to, have a good education. He's trying to win titles for his hometown. Then he leaves and has given up.
There's a picture right here. I'm showing you, Tyler.
Yeah.
It's on ESPN.com,
we'll
5 on 5. What if the Lakers can't fix it? LeBron looking at Luke Walton. Same way he looked at every single coach, not every single coach because he really only fired one. Same way he looked at
David Blatt.
Who weren't bad coaches, they were winning.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Luke Walton is not a bad coach. He comes from the helms of Golden State.
Yeah.
The kingdom of Golden State. LeBron just isn't buying in. And as a player, I don't think you should be able to have full control of what happens on the court.
Yeah.
What happens behind the scenes, who they draft, who they sign. Sure, you can say, I want this guy to come.
Right.
That's not a bad thing. But when you're saying, I want these 5 guys.
Yeah.
Why don't you just make yourself a player, coach, GM? They had that in baseball in the 50s and the 40s.
Yeah.
The Lakers are wasting money with Luke Walton then because LeBron is trying to control everything.
Yep.
But he's not showing for it on the court.
He's not. That's in the past when he's had and when he's tried to be the GM, head coach, everything, he's at least still tried. He's given up. And as cheesy as it is to be like MJ never did that, MJ never did that. And I was at the point where I was like, if LeBron can win another championship or 2, I think I could see him as the greatest of all time. No more. He's blown it. He has given up on this team. He's given up on this season. He doesn't know. I mean, it's like he's forgotten what it's like to lose and doesn't know how to respond to it.
As a Lakers fan, I would rather have Kobe Bryant than LeBron James for one reason only. Actually, 2. Kobe plays, and he doesn't argue with the front office about who's on his team.
Yeah.
He plays no matter what. LeBron just talks and talks and talks.
Yep.
And in the previous years, he's been able to back that talk up with winning.
Yeah.
But now, he's in LA.
Yep.
Magic is running the team. It's not like Magic doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
He's been there before.
Yeah.
And LeBron is trying to run this franchise.
Yeah.
And that's just not how it works.
Nope.
You signed to play for the Lakers. You did not sign a contract to be the GM of the Lakers.
No.
or the head coach of the Lakers.
Nope.
You signed to play.
Yep.
And you're not playing. We're witnessing it firsthand.
Yeah.
He is not playing.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge NBA fan, but I've noticed this over the course of the last few years.
Yep.
It's obvious when LeBron plays, and it's obvious when he doesn't. Look at James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
He got so much crap for not playing defense.
Yeah.
What does he do? He plays better defense now.
Yeah. That's
It might
true.
not be the best defense,
But he's improved.
but at least he comes back, plays defense. He feeds guys.
Yep.
And he's not running a franchise.
No.
He asked for Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Great. LeBron wants somebody else. They didn't get it done. If they didn't get Chris Paul, Harden would not have been, oh, I'm not playing anymore. I'm not going to play defense.
Right.
Whatever.
Just keep going. Emergency warning.
Oh, yeah. Emergency LeBron's out.
It's only a test. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. We're going to keep going through. But, yeah, no, it really, it just felt like he was like, all right, I want Anthony Davis. And they're like, all right. And then they're like, hey, we couldn't get him for you right now. And he's like, all right, well, then I'm not going to try anymore.
And that's a problem.
That's a big problem for a veteran who has been in the league for so long. Like, he should be ashamed. Like, this is an incredible. It's just it's unbelievable. You know, I don't know what's going to happen in the future with him.
He's going to run the team because he can, and that's a problem. What's the point of having general managers and head coaches if one player can get them fired no matter what? I think Luke Walton's going to get fired.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
And any team that's going to get him is lucky to have him.
Yeah.
They have not had the players in the past.
No.
Next year they will have the players.
They're gonna. Oh, yeah. LeBron,
and
Anthony
LeBron
Davis, Kyrie.
But LeBron's not playing like he wants players.
Mm-mm.
He's playing like, well, when they come here, like, we'll be ready to go. This is just a relaxing season. I've been injured already. I don't want to get injured again.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take it slow. I mean, it's sad.
Yeah.
It really is sad because this is a guy who's considered one of the greatest of all time.
Yep. He's a leader. People look up to him.
And I'm going to compare it again to Kobe. When did you ever see Kobe Bryant take a game off on the court?
Never.
I don't care if he took a game off when he was on the sidelines.
If he was playing.
If he's playing, he's playing.
Yep. If MJ was playing, he was playing. I mean, we don't even have to look at them. Look at anybody talk about Russell Westbrook. That guy steps on the court. He's not stepping off the court until he's given it everything he has.
Vinatieri is 44 years old in the
Yeah.
NFL, and he plays.
Yeah.
LeBron's 36. If he's playing, he needs to play.
Yep.
And he's not.
Nope.
And that's a problem.
All right, speaking of not needing to play, I don't know if I can make this transition, but let's move to The Bachelor. Ooh. Cassie doesn't want to play.
Apparently not.
Have you watched the...
I did.
Yeah.
You watch Bachelor Tell All?
I did.
That was exciting.
Let's start.
I got a pacifier for you.
That was crazy. Let's start with Monday's episode. And we're gonna do this quick because we're guys who definitely super don't care about The Bachelor at all. This is super. We don't care. Like it's just I don't care.
Bachelor fantasy.
I don't care. Anyway, no. But anyways, okay. So brief recap. He has fantasy suite / date whatever with Tayshia.
Right.
Everything's pretty normal, but well, hey, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
That's how it ends.
Then there's like 30 minutes, like the whole, like 90% of the episode is he's like talks with Cassie, and he's like, oh yeah, your dad didn't give me the blessing, and then she's like, oh no, and then her dad comes and is like, all right, if you don't really like him, then don't be with him, and she's like, I don't really like him, and he's like, well then don't be with him, and she's like, but I love him, and he's like, well you don't like him, she's like, I know, but I love him. Still don't get that. And then she goes to like tell Colton that she's gonna leave, and then Colton's like, I love you, and she's like, I love you, but like not in like I love you way. So I don't quite get what she was saying there. After she tells him she's gonna leave, they still make out like 5 more times, which makes no sense. And then Colton jumps the fence.
That's like for last time's sakes. Like, I'm breaking up with you, but one more time.
One more time. Like let's keep it. And like, to be fair, like I get the fact that like she's like, okay, you're supposed to propose like next week, and like I'm not ready for that. That's fair.
That's a week. I still don't understand after. Okay, Bachelor is fine. Getting engaged after 6 weeks or 9 weeks, whatever it is.
It's crazy.
I don't understand it.
That's why this show is.
You could do that.
That's what's so just whack.
Also, who would go? I'm gonna meet my man in 9 weeks.
Yeah, that's the other thing is whenever whenever they go to the hometowns and their dads are like freaking out like about like your daughter signed up for the show, like they knew what they were getting into.
Yeah.
But also, and then they get to the end of the show and they're like, I don't know if I'm ready. You signed up for it.
100%.
You knew what you were getting into. Or whenever they're like, I just wasn't expecting to be competing against these girls. It's a competition show. What'd you expect?
Yeah. I would never go on one of those shows. I don't understand it. I think it's funny, to be honest.
It is funny, but it's a little whack.
It's really whack.
And then we get to the women tell all of them just like I've never like watched like a full season, so I didn't realize like they literally get all the women from the show, show the parts where they had beef, and then Chris just kind of sits back and says, "So tell me about it."
See, if I was on The Bachelor, I'm going to be honest here for a second. If I was on The Bachelor and we go to, let's see, they went to Portugal, they went to Singapore, whatever it was. Let's just say they go to England.
Sure.
I'm not staying in that house. I'm going to watch some soccer games. Are you kidding? I'm already on the other side of the world. Okay, if I don't have a date today, who wants to go see PSG in Paris?
Yeah, I know. Instead, they're just like, they're soaked. They're like, he didn't invite me on the one-on-one. I have to go on the group date. Oh, and they're just like stuck up in this like, nice resort, just like sitting in bed.
If I'm getting sent home, when I'm in Spain or wherever I am,
yeah.
I'm not going straight home.
No.
I'm over here. They paid for me to get over here.
Yep.
Y'all can pay for me to get home.
But I'm going to have a couple more days of fun before you send me back home.
I'm inviting my friends. We're meeting up in Europe and we're going on an excursion.
Yeah. So, finale's next week. No idea what's going to happen because basically Colton's like, yeah, I just like Cassie. Which is fair. I think, again, if this was real life, he would just be like, all right, let's start dating, just me and you. But it's not. It's The Bachelor, and he has to propose to one of them. But, so I don't know. I don't think he's
going to propose.
He's not. He's going to send Hannah G and Tasha home and just be like, all right, he'll go to Cassie and be like, let's take things slower and like,
and it's not like he can be, he confessed his love. It's not like he can say,
right.
Oh, darn, not her. All right, you're next.
Exactly. That's everybody's like, Hannah G like was chilling the whole show, like, and he has to. I think even Cassie brought that up. She's like, okay, you say you love me, but are you about to go to another girl and say the same thing?
Right, 100%. You can't say that.
Yeah.
Also, I don't understand how you fall in love with 3 people simultaneously.
It makes no sense.
That's polygamy.
Yeah, we outlawed that from the Mormon church in the 1800s. Come on, Bachelor.
Yeah.
It's whack. All right, final segment. There's a new segment called Whacky News with Will. We both found some wacky stories. I'll let you start with yours. Share a little.
I don't know if it's wacky, but it doesn't make sense to me. Gordon Hayward says long plane ride helps Celtics out of funk. Okay, what's on that plane? Because I'm intrigued. I've never been on a long plane ride and been like, let's go play some golf. I've been like, I'm sleeping for 15 hours.
Yeah, you get up a long plane ride, you're straight to the hotel room, straight to falling asleep. I don't understand that. But
there better be like a disco ball or like mini putt-putt or something on that plane. I'm not sitting for 8 hours or whatever the flight time is, 6 hours, and then going, all right, let's go do. I'm more like, all right, let's go do some activities.
Right.
I'm not like, let's play.
This is it. I'm energized. Yeah.
Yeah, 5-hour energy, I'm sure.
All right, so my story, and I think I'll probably put the video in because it's good. I won't put the whole thing because Old Spice breaks a Guinness World Record for the longest commercial break, 14 hours. 14 hours. It's more than 1,600 clips, and basically it's one long Inception. I'll put it up there right now.
New Old Spice with Durascent technology makes you smell amazing forever. Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
Acreditar nessa propaganda?
Né? Eles nem falaram da nova embalagem de Old Spice. Muito mais bonita e moderna do que a antiga.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
Esse desodorante é ótimo. Seu cheiro incrível salvou meu casamento.
Salvou mesmo.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice. Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice. Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
Que pintura fantástica. Obrigado. Só faltou um detalhe.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice. With Old Spice, it feels as if you had a new nose every time you smell yourself.
Wow.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
Que?
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
Cara, tem alguma coisa estranha.
Né? Parece que a gente tá preso num Inception.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice. With the new Old Spice, now you can smell amazing.
Pra sempre.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice. Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
Cara, a gente tem que sair daqui.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice. 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 Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
Thanks, Mini Terry.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
Este novo splash. Cheiroso, maravilhoso. Compra, dura para...
Forever makes you a great smell with the new Old Spice. Smell amazing forever 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 with the new Old Spice.
Wow.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice. 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 Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
É maravilhoso.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice. Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
Carnal, hay algo de extraño. Sí, es como si estuviéramos presos en un infierno.
Huele bien siempre con el nuevo Old Spice.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
Wow.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice. Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
É maravilhoso.
Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice. Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice. Smell amazing forever with the new Old Spice.
Like a movie or something like that.
Yeah, it's and I guess they're just doing it for publicity, but I mean it's like you watch a clip and then it like it's like a person watching a commercial and then it's zooming out and it's people watching the commercial and then zooming out and people watching the commercial and then zooming out and then like people clapping because like the Old Spice people like production like oh this is good and then it zooms out and then it's more commercial. It's pretty funny, but then that was the 3-minute version. The 14-hour version.
I hope you didn't sit down and watch all 14 hours.
I didn't. They only gave me the 3-minute option.
Because I would say you have a lot of time on your hands and we need to go play some golf.
Yeah, no. I did not watch. Just the 3 minutes. But
Smart.
maybe one day if I get real bored, I'll watch 14 hours. But that's...
You, me, James, Alex. I mean, we might as well just all sit down.
Get the whole squad.
Yeah.
And
Matt,
yeah,
Sam,
I don't understand that. But yeah, that was it.
If we sit down for 14 hours and we watch that, not even 14, it's probably like 16 hours because bathroom breaks and somebody's got to give you food.
Yeah, that's a full day. That's like when you wake up at 7, you start watching it. You're not done till 11 at night.
Yeah, you had me at waking up at 7. I think I'm out.
All right, we won't do that. But, Will, thanks for joining the show.
Of course.
Make sure y'all go check out Bazar Sports Radio every Monday afternoon at 2 to 3.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah, there we go. All right, thanks.
All right.
All right, so to finish off this show, we have a very fun fact of the week. Maybe the most fun fun fact of the week. We've kind of been all over the place from psychopaths who don't drink their drink while they eat, from people being jealous about other people getting boyfriends or girlfriends. But today's fun fact is just fun. And it comes from Bailey, at Bailey, a lot of numbers. I'll read the first three. 987, I'll just read them all. 987-520-49. So from her, thank you, Bailey, for your fun fact. The tweet reads like this. Fun fact. Pandas just eat, sleep, and lay around all day. Are you a panda? And not only is this, I'll attach the tweet, but with the tweet is a picture of a baby panda smiling, maybe yawning, in a tree. And I saw this and I said, now that's a fun fact. That's a fun fact. So I hope if you're watching this, I hope seeing the panda and hearing this fun fact made your day. If you're just listening to this, I hope it inspires you to look up a picture of a baby panda. And I hope you have a great day. That's going to do it for us on the Thomas Fitch Show. We'll be back. Not next week. I'll be out of town next week. So in a week or two, we'll be back. But anyways, from the Thomas Fitch Show, I'm Thomas Fitch. Hook 'em horns.